Hi friends, I found a little tray of a bunch of paints that I had that I forgot I had. So I looked online to see when I had ordered them, and it's been a little while. And when I ordered them, they were marketed as Lightwish on Amazon. So I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the reviews. It was a 4.7. I looked at some things, the actual labels on these paints. I'll pull them out here. Yeah, about a tin full of them. It says, well, on some of them, or on the back of them, I should say, Marie's. So there was some, confusion. Is it Marie's or is it Lightwish, or is it one of those where it's being marketed by two different, I don't know. But I thought, I'll go ahead and swatch them out again and see what I can find out about them. The light fastness is really good, 3 to 4 on everything. So there's none of them that, are with a 1 or a 2 even. And I've got the pigment numbers, everything I need. So I've made out a nice little swatch card here. And I thought it would be worthwhile because they were, at the time I paid, I want to say $47 for the set. It's 24 of the tubes. And obviously they're those smaller ones. But I thought we better swatch them out. Because if you remember, I had purchased, if you remember from one of my haul videos from Amazon Prime days, I had bought this nice Meeden water, well, it's not waterproof, but it closes with a seal, so that was good. And I'd also gotten these Meeden brushes, so I thought I'd use that to do the swatching. And if you remember, this Meeden palette has the removable tray. And then I found out today when I had cleaned it, because initially I used it for gouache, this comes out as well. So being able to get in there and clean it, that was really nice. So I do recommend that. But let's see, let's go ahead and swatch out some colors. We're gonna do them all, even the white, just because, we gotta. So I don't want to do it with this brush, but I need to clean and put that one away. All right, here we go. So let's see what we got here. I feel like I've used the lemon yellow, but it has been so long because I tend to just go to my Daniel Smiths and Holbeins, and I'm waiting on my A. Gallows. I am so excited. I've tried Paul Rubens and the Mia Lang, which is the student grade of the Paul Rubens. And they're all nice. And the De La Roni, they're all real nice, but the ones I have in tubes are limited. Now I have, from way back when I started, I have some Chromatech and some Castle. And I think I would probably only use those if I was in dire straits and had nothing. So, I don't think I've ever even swatched those out, because they really are just kind of like, in my opinion, not really something I would take the time to, I'm gonna get some more of that water, to do that with. They're very inexpensive, which, kind of goes along with all of that. This moves really nice. These are all supposed to be transparent, so we'll check that as well. Let's see if this paper, by the way, is the, it's called, I just got it to try it, the Muerta. And the reason I got it to try it, it's cold pressed, acid free, 16 sheets, 140 pound, so, and 100% cotton. So it's everything we would want. Has a real nice texture, as you can see, and it is the 9 by 12. And the reason I got it was because one of the little sketchbooks that I use on a regular basis, some of the ones I've had for a long time, I found out that's what they were. They were tomatas, and I loved them for so long. So I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes you don't even realize what you have, you know? So this next one is going to be our Cad Yellow. Obviously this one was the Lemon Yellow PY3. This is the Cad Yellow P154 and PY154 and PY83. So they're really nice and creamy, and of course these are practically just out of the tube. So there's that. I want to make sure I get some water down here. See how those, there we go. Definitely transparent. Okay, and the Cad Orange, let's put our water down here to begin with. Now there's a little bit of yellow still on there, but I think it'll be all right. The Cad Orange, which is this one here. Okay, I just stuck my brush in the wrong one. We gotta make sure we're staying true here. So this one here. Don't laugh, it was actually the right one all along. I took such time today to, you know, this weekend, normally I would be just dying to get in my studio, but this week it's been all business. Sometimes you just got to take a step back, take a break, and allow yourself to do all of the things that you know you need to do. I put together one of my notebooks, so I have all my swatch cards in it, organized things like that, organized my little cart that I keep in the house, so that I have all of that stuff handy, and got rid of the things in there that I wasn't actually using. So, you know, all of that was really good. See, these are actually really nice. I should drop some water in there just to see how they do. All right, let's go to our Cad Red. Sometimes, you know, when I see other people doing their swatches, they're so neat and they've got nice circles and all that. Boy, I struggle just with a square. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm actually an artist. I actually can sketch, you know, make portraits of people and things, but for some reason, a square, forget about it. But I'm doing my best here for you. Okay. See that nice bloom. Okay. And we're going to the crimson, one of my favorite colors in general. And by the way, the Cad Yellow was the PY154, PY83. Cad Orange was the PY154, PY073. Our Cad Red is the PR255. I like that a lot of these are single pigments, like this crimson PR149. But I've just really started paying attention to all of that, because now I realized, you know, that I want to start doing my own granulations, like with the my Daniel Smiths, and I've got some beautiful paints. My son says I'm a hoarder, and I never thought I was until it came to art supplies. Then forget it, I guess I am. Because I just keep buying them, and I don't know why. I'm just trying to see how dark I can get this crimson up here. It's really pretty. Okay, Permanent Rose. Let me know if you've ever used these and how you've liked them. I guess I'm going to have to do a painting or something with these because, you know, they just seem to be so much better than some of the other lower priced ones that I have. And sometimes they surprise you, you know. Sometimes you don't realize, like this, I forgot that I had them and found 24 tubes barely used and thought, you know what, I should probably swatch those out and see what they're like. And so far pretty good. I am using that Marta paper here. And I'm putting a lot of water too, so I gotta be careful. The Alizarin Crimson, go ahead and put some water down before we get it, is this one here. Another favorite color. And the Permanent Rose, by the way, was the PV19 and the PR122, where the Alizarin Crimson is the single pigment PR206. This one's a lot thicker, even though my brush was already wet. You can see just getting the coverage on this one. It's a lot. It doesn't look like it on the palette that it's that much thicker, but it's got a ton of pigment in it. Really pretty though. I'm liking this Cad Orange a lot. I've never been a fan of Cad Red. It's got quite a bit of water seeping here. I don't want it to run, so I'm gonna rinse that. So, let's see, this one is really, really, let me drop. Let's see how that does. Okay, Purple Red PV19. And that is, gosh, I gotta keep track of these. Which is which? All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have not included a swatch card in the palette yet, which is probably a mistake because it would have been helpful to make sure I'm pulling from the right one, which so far I have been, but that one was tricky because it just doesn't look like that in the palette. I'm gonna put some more, and this one, again, these are straight from the tube. I have not allowed them to cure or anything, straight from the tube, so these colors are just as you would get them if you were just dotting them on your palette. So far, I feel pretty good about them. Okay. Brilliant Purple. By the way, did I say PV19 for the Purple Red? And then the Brilliant Purple, maybe that's what was confusing me because this one looks, in the palette, it looks blue. But look at that, it's so pretty. So much pigment, which is the PV23. So a violet, very, very pretty, rich. Yeah, I'm liking that one a lot. I like vivid colors. I like a lot of muted colors too. I just created a small palette with some of my granulatings and I really need more because I love those as well. But for this kind of a set, these are not meant to be, you know, for that purpose. This is more of a vivid what I would use when I'm doing florals or whatnot. Okay, ultramarine. Ooh, that's another one, very, very rich. Beautiful. Really pretty. Yeah, ultramarine's nice. It's PB29, Prussian blue. It could be they're just starting to dry in the palette maybe a little bit, because this seems so thick. Oof, look at that though. My dog must have seen somebody walking outside. Oliver, he can't contain himself if he hears somebody or sees something. Whew. Lots of pigment. PB27 for Prussian blue. I have a feeling that's going to run. Let's take some of that off of there. There we go. Pretty. All right, cobalt blue. Yeah, I think that's what's happening, is they're starting to, since I've wrote everything out and got them in the palette, but they still have that beautiful transparency. Let's put some at the top there. It's pretty dark for a, it's nice. My skies, I used to use a lot of cobalt in my skies, cobalt and cerulean. But yesterday I did one with Moon Glow, Daniel Smith's Moon Glow. If you've not tried that, above a sunset, it was just so moody and beautiful. Okay, cobalt blue is 3 different pigments, PB15, PB29, and PW6. Now this one is called Sky Blue. It's the PB15. Let's make sure I got enough. Here we go. And you can see that little bit of, that's like the cerulean, which I guess it kind of would be. Which is one of my favorite when I'm doing landscapes, especially winter scenes. So cool. There we go. All right, Viridian. Surprisingly, one of my favorites too. Only because I used to do a lot of abstract landscapes, and I used Viridian in quite a few of them. It was just such a surprising boldness of a color, and I was using it on the ground, and it just gave it that oomph to those paintings. One of these days I'll pull them out. Really pretty vivid colors. So far I'm really liking these. Let me know if you are. I always like to know if other people have tried the ones that I'm finding, or, you know. By the way, Viridian is PG7. Emerald Green is PG36 and PY3. This one just seems real loose in the palette, but it's really creamy. And I'm sure I have these all in the wrong order, but gosh, I like that for green. Phthalo green, which is the PG36. Kind of reminds me of, it's got that turquoise, kind of reminds me of the ocean in the Caribbean. Got quite a bit of water on this brush, so we will use it. And then I'll pull some more of this up near the top so you can see how dark we can get that, because it is really pretty. All right, sap green is another one that's 3 different colors. It's the pigments, it's the PG7, PY154, and PR101. It's nice. Yeah, I'm liking this too. It's very rich. These are very pigmented colors. It's hard not to get too much on the brush. And they've got nice movement. It's really pretty. Transparency really is good, and they all have a good light fastness, which really made me happy. So I know if I use this palette for things that I'm doing, commissions or whatever. Yellow ochre, which by the way is PY42, then I don't have to worry about them fading out. Probably why I didn't know I had these was because they said Marie's and I didn't remember where they came from. So I went online to see where I bought these, and it was through Amazon, and they were marketed as Lightwish. So, but either way, burnt sienna, which is the PR101 and the PY42. I put a lot on that brush. Oh, that's so pretty. Colors are so pretty. It's such an addiction. There we go. That's really pretty. All right, Burnt Umber, which is PR7, PY42. Ran out of room down here, so these will be smaller. I'm such a mathematician. I thought I measured everything out so well. But that's okay. I've got labels and everything's marked, so I guess I'm good. All right, that's a pretty burnt umber too. Raw umber. These both have the same pigments, PBR7 and PY42. It's just a matter of the ratios, which I had no idea until today, by the way. I thought I'd written it down wrong and had to look at it again and found out that it's just because of the, plus I did a really nice kind of my own mixes of colors to try to really get used to the way that you can mix colors. And it can be really surprising. If you haven't been doing that, I do recommend it. Where, you know, I took ultramarine, for example, and I used, what did I use? Oh, I used vermilion and Indian red. I wish I had that swatch card I could show you. And I mixed those two, and then I mixed, not yellow ochre, new gamboge, all of those with the ultramarine. And it just the range of colors that you can make just with ultramarine and some of these other ones is just absolutely amazing. Payne's Gray, PBK7 and PB29. I love a Payne's Gray. I definitely need some water here, but that's okay. We get to see it. And this is not a Payne's Gray blue that I would have thought. I want to see the light. It's really dark. I'm hoping I didn't mix the ivory black, but we'll find out right now. I'm going to lay the water down first. Because we're consistent. Painting is fun. If it isn't, we're doing it wrong. Yeah, this is the ivory black. So I don't know if that, I would consider that a real Payne's Gray. So I'll be tempted if I use it to add in. They look just so similar to me. Let's take a look. I have my box down here with swatch cards and whatnot. So this is the ivory black, and this is the Payne's Gray. So I'm just going to straight from the tube, just verify. But that's what we are seeing. Yep, it is. So that's not my favorite. That's the first one I'm not really tickled by because, well, it didn't say it was Payne's Great Blue, but blue shade, but that's the one that I've worked with this kind of a Payne's Gray before. Did some pretty cool stuff, but I kept wanting it to have that blue in there, and I didn't know to mix it at the time because I was so new. I don't remember how long ago that was, but it's been a while. Long enough for me to develop a real true appreciation for Payne's Gray Blue. All right, let's go back into this ivory black and add a little more here. It's really dark, but so is the Payne's Gray. You can hear me complain about it now. All right. More water at the bottom of that. I mean, they just, you know, to me, for all intents and purposes, they look to be the same. This is PBK7 and PB29, which is why I thought it would have that blue. And this is PBK9. I guess the blue is what I thought that B stood for, but maybe it's the black. Who knows? Somebody knows. Y'all are probably smarter at this stuff than I am, some of you. So, but I'm learning. That's for darn sure. And I will look it up. All right, there we go. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you are a fan, if you'll pass them by as just, you know, they probably would be good if you are a beginner and you just want to test out to see if you like, you know, watercolor. It wouldn't be a bad set to have. That's probably why I bought them. I don't know how long I've had them. Well, I should know. I could go back and look at that Amazon purchase, but it would be worthwhile. I think they were worth the money I paid for them. I like some of these in particular. I'm more fond of. I really like the burnt umber and the burnt sienna. The that cat orange, it looks like pyrrole orange to me. This emerald green, you know, but these are, you know, I can mix some of these colors and come up with some pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.